Hello, here's the video, and we've got a gentleman here to talk to us about what it's like to be homeless. How did you become homeless?
No, it was just basically through a relationship breakdown that my head went. I ended up turning into drugs and alcohol, and then ended up being on the street because of it.
And what's it like being on the street?
It's probably, I would say, the worst situation I've ever been in. You have people look down on you on a pretty much daily basis. Obviously every day you're trying to figure out how you're going to get through the next day, you know, what you're going to do to get by, and which is tends to be a lot of the reason why most people, when they're homeless, will tend to turn towards drink or drugs, just because it's a release from the streets.
Imagine. So what sort of things do you get up to all day? I'm not going to ask everything, just, you know, generally you wake up in the morning.
Well, basically you wake up and it consists of, it's pretty much like a Groundhog Day, because it's the same thing day in, day out. You're walking around, or if you're lucky you can go into one of the churches, you might be able to get a free coffee or something like that, and that's a little bit of a sit down. Or we tend to go to the library and just sit in there, read a book or something, just to basically fill a few hours of the day, and that's pretty much it, day in, day out. And
you come to the centre, don't you, for a bit of...
well, we've got a day centre that we come to in the morning, where we can get some, like a cup of tea and some toast. Speak to, you know, the other homeless people there and see what's going on with them. But then once the day centre shuts, that's pretty much us for the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you find it quite a lonely existence?
Yeah, it can be at times, but I mean, you tend to find a lot of the homeless people, we all kind of stick together. But it depends on how you are, because obviously I've took myself off of the drink and drugs, so I tend not to mix with a large majority of the homeless lot, just because I'm trying to get myself sorted, and you know, I've kind of got myself focused now. I know where I want to go and what I want to do, so I kind of keep myself to myself quite a bit now.
So say if you're a strong person, it's easier to sort of keep away from that, but if you're quite a weak person or you're vulnerable, you'd be probably drawn into it just simply because those are the people that are showing you.
No, I don't think it depends whether you're strong or weak. I think it's just a case of it can take anyone down, doesn't matter. You know, you could be the strongest person, but being on the streets, it will come to a point where, you know, every avenue's been shut down on you, so the only thing you do have is, you know, is having a drink or something like that, just to basically take yourself away from the situation you're in.
I can imagine, yeah. So obviously you get your food and your clothes from the day centre. People kindly donate. So at the end of the day, where do you sleep? Because there's a perception in the public of sleeping in doorways, which I know a number of people do, but where do you particularly sleep?
Yeah, you do get some that do that, but I tend to, because the way I look at it is I still have pride. My pride will be the last thing that goes. So I tend to try and take myself away from where I will be seen by anyone from the public, albeit it could be like in a park behind a load of trees, basically anywhere that you find that you can get a bit of shelter, where there's a little bit of warmth, and you know, it's out of public view. That's where I tend to go.
So you're not staying in any of the hostels, and you're not staying in the Safeseat?
No, I was accessing the Safeseat for a while, but because I don't have a local connection to Chester, they retracted the services from me, and basically now, well, they've basically left me to fend for myself. So they're not going to give me any help in any way, shape or form anymore.
So what's the chances of you getting a place to stay, like a flat or anything?
The only other chance I've got is if I can find something private, but then for that I need to have a house, because nowhere's going to employ you without an address. So it's a catch-22 situation at the moment.
Yeah, I can imagine. So if you could like have a magic wand and wave it and say, right, to make things better, in a realistic way. So what the council could do, what could the public do to help?
I don't really think it's so much a nationwide thing. It's a Chester thing. Chester do not want the homeless. Chester Council don't want the homeless because it's bad for tourism, and that is the be all and end all of why they won't help. But I think it's just a case of, I think people need to stop being too narrow-minded, and just because someone's on the street, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a drunk or they're a druggie or that they're a bad person. You know, and it's quite a lot of people on the street are just victims of circumstance, and they're just people that are trying to get themselves back up, but there's nowhere, or well, especially in Chester, there's nowhere to help you.
So how does that make you feel when people look at you like you're a drug addict?
I tend not to get it so much because only for the fact that obviously we can come to the day centre, you can have a shower, and you know, I always present myself quite well. I always dress smart because my pride will be the last thing to go, and you know, I can come to the day centre and get a shower every day, so why would I not use that? I try to keep myself, you know, looking as smart as I can, because then I'm not getting, you know, tarred with that brush.
Absolutely. So what would your dream be for yourself? What would you like to do with your life? If someone were to offer you the chance, what would you really, really like to do? Like a job, dream job?
I wouldn't really say that I have even a dream job, but I am in the process of starting up a charity that's basically going to be giving an actual voice to the homeless, because at the moment we don't have that. So I'm in the process of just, you know, talking through churches, speaking to individuals in the church and so on, and seeing about getting some possible sponsorship. Because at the end of the day, you know, even if I'm not here in 10 years, or I'm not in this situation, there are still going to be people that are. So, you know, just because I might be able to pull myself out of it, I don't see why there shouldn't be help for others. Because it is about time that, you know, someone actually did something for the homeless, because no one deserves to be on the streets.
No. Anything else you would like to say to camera? Like your parting words, is it a soundbite?
I don't know, I'd probably say, you know, I think when people walk by and they see someone on the streets, don't just assume that they're a drunk or they're a druggie. You know, actually, even if it just means taking a minute out of your day to speak to someone, you never know how much you could change a person's life. And, you know, it's a case of one person can change the world, so why not be that person?
Thank you very much.